the GMC Sierra Denali pickup truck, that one right there. We've been running that for 7 weeks now. We've put 3,800 kilometers or more on the truck, and it's due to go back tomorrow. So that's it. Our long-term test with this truck is nearly over, and it's going back to its home at GM. And both Imtishan and I are actually going to be very, very sad to see it go, because we've really grown quite fond of this truck. And I certainly have gone from somebody who's never really run a big car like that over a long period of time to becoming something of a trucker. I really have enjoyed owning that car, so to speak. So let's do a final run around, a final walk around, and a final sort of summary of how we got on with this truck over its long-term loan with us. So there it sits. I feel almost rather sad itself. Come on. It's a bit of a buddy, this truck, you know. It kind of becomes your mate, it becomes your friend, and I'm sure it kind of senses a little bit that it's going away from me now, and I'm sure there's a little bit of a sadness in that grille there. But what an imposing grille. And if I bring you down here, I mean, just look at that. Isn't that an imposing thing? I'll tell you, one of the joys of driving a truck like this, and it's a really bad thing to say, but particularly here in Dubai traffic, nobody messes with you. People get out of your way. And nobody cuts you up. They see the size of this thing, they see that imposing grille with the GMC lettering there, very bright, very clear, very strong, and they go, yeah, I'm not going to pick a fight with that. And you know what? You can't blame them. So you do feel a little bit imperial and a little bit indestructible when you're sitting in the armchair of this thing. So one of the big issues that I thought I might have with this truck is its size. I mean, look at it here. Let me start the sweep from here all the way across to here. It's pretty massive. It's pretty big, and it's got that full size, you know, cabin as well. Having said that, it hasn't been as much of an issue as I thought it might be. You know, you do have to adjust your driving style a little bit. You do have to remember that you're carrying a little bit of extra length behind you than you can think when you first drive it, particularly when you use the focal point of the cabin, because traditionally we sit in the cabin, we use the glass area around us, we use the C-pillars to sort of fix our focal point and our anchor point, and sort of, you know, relate to the surroundings based on that. Of course, one of the things I found is that when reversing this, I was using the C-pillar as a guide, and what I should have been doing is using the rear corner of the bed as a guide, this bit here. Now, visibility, however, has never been an issue, because from the driver's seat you can see that the C-pillar is very, very slim. And so therefore, you look over your right shoulder and you've got excellent visibility behind you. Plus, of course, the mirrors are very big, adjustable, and they do that flip down thing when you select reverse, which is really handy. So it's never been an issue. And over the other side, they have the round mirror in mirror, which is a sort of fisheye mirror that gives you that blind spot coverage. So that's always been very handy as well. Now, coming to this bed, you know, this is a fantastic simple thing. Like I said before, you've got the step and the grab handle to get up into it. Now, one of the things that I regret a little bit is I've not really been able to use this bed very much, honestly, in the time that we've had it. Of course, partly is a problem that the time we've had it, it's been quite hot. The kids have had exams, so we haven't really gone out on any picnics or stuff like that, which is what I would have liked to have done in this truck. And to make use of just sitting in the back and having a bit of picnic and stuff like that. Not, of course, driving with it, of course. Now, one thing I would recommend is if you're going to get one of these trucks or even another truck like it, is make sure that you get a cover for this area here, because that way you can put your valuables inside and lock the truck and go away, because at the moment that's one of the issues. If you don't have that, you can't. This has got this massive storage space, and I can't actually put it to any use because I can't actually lock anything in it and I can't hide anything in it. Similarly with the shopping, if you get shopping, so you get your weekly shop, I mean, you're not going to shop that much. That's not how much. If you get that much shopping, then something is wrong. Or you have a very large family, which is conceivable, I suppose. But anyway, assuming that you don't get that much shopping, then what you need to do is get some sort of a divider that sort of cuts this area by a third, so that your shopping can stay here at the front with the cover on top, and you can lock this compartment and then you can use it for that stuff. But of course, it's a very versatile thing. You can get all those bits and pieces. It's never a problem. They're all available in the accessory catalogue. Including, I believe, we talked about this step, the last report, and I said I'm not sure why that's fixed, but apparently there is an option to get a retractable one as well. I like the wheels and tires combination on this thing, and the fact that the tires are so big that they kind of jut out, as I mentioned in my previous report, means that it helps you to avoid curbing the wheels at all. I think I have touched them a couple of times, but by and large I've been fairly good with this truck, and I've been able to take it into most of the places where I wanted to take it. I have to be honest, I've avoided going into Mall of the Emirates, but I have been in most of the other malls, including Dubai Mall, and I have parked it in Dubai Mall, so it hasn't been a problem. So yeah, look at it, beastie of a thing, handsome devil, isn't it? And yeah, I've grown quite attached to this. Let's get inside the car. So before we set off on this one last ride, actually it's not one last ride because I got to take it to the radio station as well later on. Of course, catch us on Monday nights on Dubai Eye 103.8. So I just want to catch up with, so it's now up to 11,000 kilometers on this thing. I think I've got it at considerably less than that. In fact, I will show you, trip me to B. That's what we've done. So we've done nearly 3,800 kilometers, 7 liters, 7 kilometer per liter, which I did works out to, let me tell you, I can tell you in liters per 100, which I have that information right here. I should have really have got this out earlier to be more handy. Yes, 14.3 liters per 100. So it initially I was doing really well with it because I did those few trips to Abu Dhabi, and I think I was getting something like 12.5 or 13 liters per 100, which is fantastic. I mean, that's like, you know, small saloon level, as we found. But as I've gotten used to it, I've started being a bit more exuberant with the car, a little bit more lead-footed. So perhaps that economy went down a little bit. But still, having said that, you know, that's not bad, you know, and to be honest, it's not a car that you really worry about with fuel. You kind of, it seems to be fine, you know, you fill the tank for about 130 dirhams or 120, 130 dirhams, and you're good to go, you know, you don't have to worry about it. Even when the light comes on, you still got about, you know, 50, 60 kilometers left, so it's not really an issue. So that's kind of what we've done. So as you can see, even now with less than half a tank, it's showing a fuel range of 240 kilometers. I went through most of this before, so again, you can refer back to the other video. Nice cool seats is always quite handy here. We went through all the power things before. There is a distance adjustable thing, so collision alert thing that it gives you, and you can adjust, you know, what sort of distance you want before you get that collision alert, which is basically just a beep and a red light that comes up on the dashboard. So that's quite handy. Like I said, most of this stuff I talked through, so there isn't really anything more specific to talk about, so I'll turn that off. And how about we just go for a little drive. Now this of course has a traditional column mounted shifter, which, you know, may seem a little bit quaint, a little bit old fashioned, but it does obviously operate the 8-speed gearbox. So it is a new gearbox, you know, despite the traditional shifter there. But you know, it's something that you actually get quite used to, and it's quite nice to have it up here near the steering wheel. I know its rivals have the lever down here and even a knob on the dashboard, but this one sticks with this traditional way of doing it. And you know what, if it ain't broke, why fix it, sort of thing. So you know, it's absolutely fine, and it kind of feels natural in this car to have this big old lever here. I never actually use the Tiptronic type of buttons here that you get. I've never had cause to use those, but generally I found the gearbox to be fine. Hunts a little bit at low speed in traffic, but otherwise not really an issue at all. You do get plenty of power in this thing, and whilst I won't be a hooligan on this roundabout, but I have found that even with the traction on, particularly around my house where the surface is a little bit slippery, you can get the back to sort of move around a little bit, just a little bit, you know, just a little bit of a jiggle, which is quite entertaining and quite satisfying to do in a big old beast like this, especially when you start to get used to its size and its bulk and its momentum. Brakes, of course, you have to think about a little bit because there is a lot of mass, a lot of momentum to slow down, so you just have to plan ahead, which, you know, is the sort of thing that makes you a good driver, because again, visibility is pretty good out of this, and you start to think ahead and you start to compensate for other people as well, because you got a big old beast. You have to think about where you're taking it, where you're going, so which means that you have to anticipate more and think ahead a little bit more, and sort of build up a picture of what's going on around you, so that you know what you're dealing with, and if there's if God forbid you need an escape route or anything like that. So I think that actually when you own a big vehicle like this and you start to think about how you're driving it and driving it responsibly, it actually helps you to become a little bit of a better driver. That's my take on it. Anyway, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. But, wow, I mean, there is the performances there when you need it. You have to go hunting for it, you go kick down and off it goes. I could do with a little bit more of a sound, but I was told that once again there is an optional exhaust that you can get, which gives you a little bit more of a grunt. And I think if I were you and you were buying this with your own money, definitely get that sports exhaust option thing, because I'd like a little bit more sound out of that terrific V8 that we've got at the front. Might as well make the most of it. Hey, why not? But overall, I tell you what, I really enjoyed having this truck, and I wanted to see what it would be like to run a vehicle, a behemoth of this type on a daily basis. And I gotta say, I've really gotten used to it. I've really enjoyed it. It's a very useful thing if you really need the luggage space, which I don't most of the time. But you can help out mates, and if you're into like that leisure lifestyle and you want to put bikes and skis and things in the back, I don't know why you would have skis here, but anyway, that's the first thing that popped into my head. Then it's quite a handy thing to have. And of course it's an imposing thing on the traffic, so when you're driving it around, like I said before, nobody messes, and that's always, I hate to say this, but it's kind of relaxing really, because you know that you're ruling the roads. This is of course the correct posture for driving this, which is elbow on the door sill there. Sometimes with the window open when the weather's nice, just put the window down in the evenings and just cruise like that. Great stereo system, so I've enjoyed using that as well. Good radio and stuff like that. Overall, I gotta say a big thumbs up on the truck. I'm really gonna miss it. I've really enjoyed running it. It's become, like I said, it's a buddy sort of vehicle. It's just your pal, it's your friend. It's like you come up to it and you go, right, Denali, we off then? He goes, yeah, let's go, mister, where do you want to go? I'm like, I want to go here. All right, let's do this, no problem. It's that sort of, kushti mate, no problem. Where do you want to go? I'll take you there. You want to go up that hill? Yeah, I could take you there. I didn't take it in the dunes. I know Imtishan maybe did a little bit. I did take it on some wadi tracks and on some gravel tracks and stuff like that. And again, it was spot on. The ground clearance was fine for that sort of thing. The traction was, most of the time I still had it in two-wheel drive, and I just put it into auto select for four-wheel drive, and it coped fine. Didn't need low or anything like that. It's got a little bit of a warning sensor just to let you know if you're getting too close to cars or other things like that. But yeah, tremendous confidence. It's one of those things where you can just drive anywhere in it and you'll be absolutely fine, and it'll be great. So, sadness. Truck is going back tomorrow. That's the end of that. I hope that you have enjoyed all of our reports and frequent updates on this truck, this vessel, this machine, this monster of ours. You could have followed them, and you will probably still find most of the posts if you just do hashtag MME long-termer, hashtag MME GMC Sierra. You can of course also read the report on motoringme.com, and you can watch the two-parter video of this being the second part, on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Motoring Middle East. Thanks so much for watching. Please do search for us on all of the social media, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the rest of it. You can also follow me on Snapchat. Just look for Shahzad_Sheikh and you will find me. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, tell your friends. Thanks for watching. Until the next one.